Hello, my name is Galina, and today's video is going to be a little bit different from my usual travel videos. I actually never planned to have a travel blog. It just sort of happened. When I travel somewhere, I take pictures and film whatever I see. And that's how this channel became a travel channel. But the channels I enjoy watching and I'm subscribed to are the ones that feel personal. So in this video, I'm going to talk about things that interest me, and maybe it will be also interesting to you too. I want to share my thoughts on the luxury lifestyle that so many people try to live, even if they do not have the means to do so. For many people, expensive stuff is associated with happiness, but can money buy happiness? There was a study in 2010 that showed that money could only boost happiness up to a point. It was $75,000 in annual earnings. It was an American study, even though I'm not sure how they came up with this number because different areas in America have different cost of living. Anyway, the main idea was that there was some number, in this case 75,000, or it's 110,000 in today's money, and beyond that number, money have little impact. Now, in this year, in 2024, the new research done by the University of Pennsylvania showed that for most people, happiness does improve with higher earnings. This research was done with participants earning up to 500,000 a year, only because higher income was not easy to find. With more money, we can afford more. So the study with the money limit always seemed strange to me. What I wanted to talk about is how money correlates with happiness. Studies suggest that we can buy happiness by buying experiences, time, by saving money, and by giving it away. First, experiences. When we buy something, it gives us immediate gratification. But what brings us happiness, it's our experiences, fun activities, hobbies, socializing. Research shows that spending on experiences like travel, going to the concerts, or maybe simply going with a friend, bring us more happiness than material items. We create social connections. We're social creatures, after all. We may not remember something we bought like in 10, 20 years, but we'll remember the feelings we had when we traveled with a friend or a family. Next, time. If we can afford it, we can buy time by paying for help or outsourcing our chores. It can make feel us happier, but it's not always the case. Time will bring us happiness if we spend it wisely, not just watching TV or scrolling Instagram when someone else cleans our house. Even going for a walk or reading a book can make us happy. Now, savings. This is a huge category, and I'll start with a simple thing. Saving for the stuff we want. Money is often associated with debt. When we buy a house, we take on a mortgage. This is debt. Some financial advisors say that this should be the only our debt. Unfortunately, many people go into debt to buy very expensive things that they do not really need. Do they associate happiness with a wealthy lifestyle? I'm not sure. I don't think wealthy means happy. When I'm in New York, I enjoy going to neighborhoods with a nice vibe. I like to have coffee in a cute little shop. I like to see people around me. I see a lot of professionals, young professionals, and most of them, I assume, have six-figure incomes. I see that they buy expensive things, and I know that they pay enormous rent if they live in Manhattan or in any good neighborhood next to Manhattan. As you can tell, English is not my first language. I'm a first-generation immigrant. My husband and I both came to the US with our master's degrees and thankfully no student loans. My husband came on a working visa, so we were considered middle class from the very beginning. But I had never had any desire to walk into a super expensive store. Actually, I was always wondering who even shops there. These stores are often empty, and entering them can feel uncomfortable. At least it's the way I feel. Well, in New York it's different because people are everywhere in New York. But this is not the case everywhere. If you go to the store for Dior store, let's say, in New Jersey, the state where I live, you might see maybe just one or two people, or it can be completely empty. So entering an empty Dior store feels intimidating for me. For many years, I had no idea that, for example, some bags can cost thousands of dollars. I was clueless because I had never paid attention to this stuff. Now, thanks to YouTube, I found out that most luxury items are actually bought by middle-class people. Millennials buy 45% of luxury goods worldwide. How is it even possible? When I was looking up this statistic, I found that over 70% of luxury goods sold in Europe and in North America are now made in China. I'm not saying that these items are poor quality because they're made in China. No, but the cost of raw materials and labor there is much lower. So what are people paying for? The brand name? That's it? A lot of people in their 20s go into debt because they buy all this stuff. And then there is rent and mortgage. So how can they afford it? Yes, they have these six-figure salaries, but most of them are also carrying huge credit card debts. Take a minute and ask yourself, why you want to buy it? Is it because your friend or colleague has it, or because it's you who actually wants it? If you really want it, earn the money first and then buy it. Don't put it on your credit card. You'll feel better knowing you can afford it. Then by the time you have saved up for that expensive item that you maybe really want, but you do not really need, maybe you'll find something else instead. Maybe an emergency will come up and you'll need some money for something more important. Or maybe you'll change jobs and you'll need to move somewhere. Just give it some time, at least while you're saving for it. But no matter what, do not put it on your credit card. We're not happy when we're broke. The next type of savings, and probably it's the most important one, is an emergency fund. Most financial advisors recommend having at least 3 months worth of living expenses. Ideally, it's 6 months. This is an emergency fund, not for emergencies like a new iPhone release, but for real emergencies like job loss or health problems. Then there is a retirement savings. I know for millennials, for example, retirement feels like a lifetime away. But if your employer offers a retirement match, it's better to contribute at least enough to get the full match, because it's basically free money. To sum up, it's all about spending on things that bring us joy and happiness. Yes, spending on hobby or travel, but also if we save for, let's say, an emergency fund. The last but certainly not least category is giving money away. I think you know this feeling of happiness you get when you've helped someone. Giving money away can bring happiness because it connects us to others and creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It boosts our self-esteem. Studies show that helping others activates areas in our brain linked to reward, making us feel good. We should ask ourselves, are we buying things really because we need them, or we're just trying to keep up? Instead of buying happiness, we may buy a mix of emotions like worrying about how to pay our bills. Instead of happiness, we may buy stress, from feeling financial insecurity. Not having enough money can make the future feel scary. We may start feeling like as we have failed in some way. By making smart choices, we can enjoy life and feel happy at the same time. I would like you to comment on this video because I know that there are a lot of people who spend beyond their means. If that is you, I want to hear your opinion. And if it's not you and you want to add something to what I have said or even prove me wrong, please also comment below. It's really interesting to me to read what you have to say. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.